Alright, what we got to do now is we got to put gaps. We're going to gap the frogs. Just frogs only. Okay, so I've done 2 of them. And this is what it looks like. Now, using the template, which is right there, that one shows gaps that are much bigger. And since I'd use unpowered frogs, this one shows some really big gaps. And that's a really long ways. That's why I put extra PC board ties in there. And my frog is smaller. And since this is going to be unpowered, it makes it less of a little dead spot. The other thing we have to do, which we'll get to in a while, is do the orphaned rails. Now, since this is going to be turning off into a whole new section, part of it, there's going to be plastic rail joiners somewhere. I'm hoping to avoid putting them on this rail. I may have a little section go first before I do the plastic rail joiners. But this here, right now, is an orphaned rail, in that once I have all the PC board gaps in here and I try to apply power to it, this is a dead rail. And same with the other two, on the other 2 parts. Those are dead rails. And I'm going to run a wire from a point on the tie to the next closest. This would be a black rail, red rail, black rail, red rail, black rail. I'll run a wire probably back here. I'll run it around and attach it up to the other black rail. And then it'll get power to it. That's really important. And we got to do that 3 times. And then we will go through, and I'm going to mark all the rails so that you can see how we're going to figure out where we need to cut all the gaps in all these ties. Because remember, this is a piece of copper going across here. This is total short. Because red rail, black rail are connected to the same piece. Can't have that. We got to put a gap so that when we attach our wire leads, that they're getting the correct power to them without shorting each other. So that's where we're at right now. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this frog. And we're going to put a gap. And the reason we're doing it now is we want to, there's a possibility that a rail might not be soldered down. And if it is, we can fix that right now. Let's go ahead and take our moto tool with it's got the, now as soon as we straighten out this cord here, I've got the small cutoff wheel. Let's see if we can get this guy in again. Okay. Yep. Alright. So first, I'm going to go here. Okay, are the rails locked in? Yes. Now let's go over here to our frog. Ooh, there's a shorty in here, a short rail in here. So let's take another look at this. Where do we really want to do this? I could do it right there. What I'm looking for, I have to gap this rail and this rail from, I have to gap this rail and this rail from each other. There's a spot right there where I could do that. So I kind of want to cut the gap right across there. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. Sometimes it gets so hot that it'll undo a solder. But now I don't have to get rid of this guy. I could just leave him. I don't even have to get rid of that guy. I might just go ahead and leave him. Once that's painted, you won't even see it. They're soldered on there nice and tight. But now we got to isolate a frog. That's what we want. We're going to have to isolate it along its sides also, so that it's fully isolated. And we're going to get to that. Now I'm going to clean this up again, and then we're going to go ahead and do some marking with some Sharpies so we can figure out where gaps got to go.